Hi, it's Nick. It's the 30th of June, continuing this week's theme of self-leadership. So today I'm talking about the idea that self-leadership is operating from our sense of personal brilliance and our strengths. Now, I know often even when I hear that myself, I immediately go into, oh my God, that feels like a pressure. So I've got to be brilliant. So I've got to play to my strengths. Oh my God, what if I don't? What if I fail? All that kind of stuff can get triggered in us. So this is not about, I have to be brilliant. This is about knowing that in each of us there are just natural strengths that we may have taken years to develop, but there is also natural brilliance in us, things that we just are naturally brilliant at doing. And that doesn't mean we have to do them all the time. I often think of somebody, I admire songwriting and performances of Bruce Springsteen, and the incredible impact that he's had and how many people love his music. And then I kind of wonder, obviously I'll never, probably never know, but how much time does he spend in his brilliance? How much time does he spend writing songs and recording songs and performing songs? Probably only a relatively small fraction of his life does he spend actually doing the things that he's really brilliant at. But that's enough. And I think it's the same for us. I know I do have a gift for speaking and a gift for coaching and a gift for writing, but that doesn't mean I have to do those things 24/7. I can write something brilliant and it can have its own life. I can give a talk and it can be recorded and it can have its own life. So it's not a pressure on us that we must be brilliant. That's a kind of more of an ego thing. It's more a desire or a devotion, if you like, to share what we're naturally good at and share what we're naturally gifted at. And for many of us, one of the biggest challenges around this is even recognizing what those things are. I've talked previously in other areas, and it's one of the big things in my life about talking about the difference between what I call the old Protestant work ethic, which says for anything to be valuable it has to have struggle and sacrifice and suffering involved in it. So therefore we tend not to either see or to value those things that, if you like, just naturally flow from us. I still have trouble seeing those things, that naturally flow from me, and I often have to, the expression I use is I often have to borrow other people's eyes to see myself. Something I do now in pretty much all the coaching conversations that I have with people. As I wrap them up, I say to them at the end of the conversation, I say to them, can you just, for your benefit as well as my understanding, can you let me know what you found valuable about this conversation? So that's not to, there's two aspects to it. One is to see what the value to them has been, and secondly, for me to see the value that I've brought. Oh, that's what the people find valuable. Oh, that's what they really benefit from. Okay. And then I get to see myself more clearly as a result of that, as well as seeing the benefits to them. That's just an example of how I often have to borrow other people's eyes and get feedback to go, oh, so that's what I bring that people find so valuable. Okay, I get that now. So, to me, self-leadership is about, at least some of the time, operating from that place that I also think of as our spiritual DNA. It's when we're in our flow, it's when we're at our best, it's when we're lit from within, when we're shining, whatever kind of language you want to use, when we're being the star that we are. Not star as in shining over people, but shining outwards to other people. So to me, self-leadership has that dimension to it, that we're just at our best, we're shining, we're in our flow, things are flowing naturally, and that's a gift to everybody around us. Okay, so that's today's thought on self-leadership and our brilliance and our strengths. And I think if we're not doing those things, we're not in our self-leadership, or we're limiting at the amount of our self-leadership, because I think that's when we blossom most, and when we have most impact is when we're playing to our strengths and accessing that brilliance that's already in us, at least part of the time. Okay, I hope that's helpful. God bless. Have a good day. Bye-bye.